Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M Money. Before we get started with today's program, I want to remind you this is the time of year to start making your budget for next year, setting your goals for savings and spending, and hitting the like button and subscribe button to P.B.M Money. Because January 1st is going to be our kickoff for our financial game for next year. And I just did a video on our goals, and whether we hit them or not, it's going to be a wow year. So join us for a wow year on your goals and your financial being for next year, because next year is going to be great. Alright, today's program, well, I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about until I met with one of my students today. And now this particular student has been with me for many, many years. And I understand her very, very well. And when we started the financial part of her journey, she said, I just want to travel. I'm not interested in the real estate part. I said, that's fine. I mean, that's going to limit where you can go and how often you can go and when you can go full time, but whatever. As long as you understand that, we're fine. Now, this was probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, because she started from worse than nothing. She started with a big fat mess. And it took us about a year just to get the groundwork done. And then it took some time to save some money up, because like I said, she's a single mom. She owns her own home. And she now owns her own car. So, I mean, she's turned her life around. She's doing very well. So the last time we met to go over her finances, she had, I'm going to guess, she probably had closer to $9,000 or $10,000 in the bank. I mean, outside of her S&P 500. And I said, well, I've taught you about all I know. Go forth and do the same. So she was gone for a while. I mean, we stayed in touch, and so she planned a trip to wherever it was. And she did it right. She got a credit card that had, it was a Hilton Rewards card, had I think 120,000 miles on it, had huge pay and spend, but she did it. And so she got some stuff for free. She's already booked her next holiday for Colorado with those points. So, I mean, she learned. I was very proud of her. So she calls me about a week ago and she says, I blew it. We need to meet again. Get me back on track. I said, okay. So we met, and today she's got about $3,000 in the bank. She got a couple thousand in her emergency fund, and she's got basically nothing in her investment account. Now, I say nothing, but she puts 200 in, they take 200 out, it goes to the S&P 500, which is great. But plus money, okay? So that's all gone except for the 200. She makes sure she keeps that funded, which was good. Her other account stayed flat. It's probably got about $3,000 in it. And the other, so she's probably got a total of $5,000 or $6,000 in there now. And I said, well, that's not bad. I mean, you know, you tripped and you fell, but you're all right. So I gave her a little bit of guidelines. I said, well, I want to see all the paperwork. I want to see your budget. I want to see credit card statements. I want to see it all. Now, in addition to spending the cash, she put an additional $1,700 on her credit card, and she put an additional $1,500 on a store credit card. One was for a bed, and the other was because she wanted to. And I said, okay, now before we can get you back, we gotta figure out what the problem is here. And she said, well, I can tell you what the problem is. I spent too much money on clothes. Now, when I went over her budget the first time around, almost half of her budget was going to buying clothes on the internet. She's an ex-addict, and so she switched her addiction from drugs and alcohol to clothing. Okay, I don't understand that, but whatever. So as we spoke over breakfast, it became extremely obvious to me that I have not talked to her enough about frugality. I mean, I've told her many times, just because you have the money doesn't mean you should spend the money. Having the money gives you the ability to spend it, but once you spend it, it's gone. So I came home and I was thinking about what I should do my program on, and I was thinking, a couple of weeks ago, we started a series called The Ultimate Guide to Living Frugally. And I think we're just going to make that a progressive series, because I got loads and loads of frugal living tips, and I just don't want to spread it out and try to come up with a different title. We'll just use the same title periodically, and we'll just pick up the list from where we left off. Now, the first one I want to talk about is whenever you get a loan of any kind, make sure it's no load, there's no fees. And that doesn't matter whether it's a bank account, a mutual fund, a no-load S&P 500, you do not pay fees ever, because there's somebody who will give it to you for free. Seek them out. Now here's one that I use almost every day, and that is repurpose things. Now, if you are a female, you will remember the days when baking soda was used for one or two things. Today, baking soda is used for many things, and that's no accident. I remember the campaign that they had for about 5 years on the different things you could use baking soda for. You could throw one in your refrigerator, one in your freezer to get the smell down. You could use it for toothpaste. You could use it for cleaning dishes. You could use it for doing laundry. You could use it to make different cleaning compounds. There was a lot you could do with those. Old clothes, jars with lids you could repurpose as things in your workshop. I repurposed newspapers as drop cloth as a painter. But anything that you have around the house, when you think it's done, sit down and look at that and think about that and think, what else could I use that for right now? You'll come up with something. Okay, now this one, the girl I was telling you about, she learned this very, very well. And this one is, whenever you have an emergency, never let an emergency go to waste. Try to get a credit card. Try to get a line of credit. Try to get interest-free for 2 years. But try to get something that's going to help your credit. Even if you've got $100,000 sitting in the bank, that does not mean go spend $5,000 on your emergency. What if you, okay, and here's the example that I used. What if she had a sewer problem? Cost her $2,000, which did happen, by the way. So, this was before she met me. So she emptied her bank account and whatever the bill was, and still had $1,900 that she had to pay on this thing. And so then she put the $1,900 on a credit card. So now she's paying $1,900 plus interest. And she said, when we first met, she said, I want to put all my money towards that because I don't want to pay interest. I said, no. That's not how we're going to do this. I said, you do your research and you find the best transfer credit card that you can find on the market for the longest amount of time at 0% interest. You get that credit card and then we'll move the balance over and then you can make payments on it. That helps your credit. That gives you another credit card plus sign-up bonus. Never going to get a credit card without the sign-up bonus. Plus sign-up bonus, plus interest-free on the amount you're going to roll over. So even though you're going to end up spending $1,900, you're going to get something out of it. So whenever you have an emergency, if it's possible, you try to get something in exchange for that. Now this is the one that basically I would say the phone company started back in the 80s when they said let your fingers do the walking. And then there was a gas crisis in the 70s and they were talking about plan your travels. And I try to do that still to this day. So like, I can give you an example. I take my laundry out to get done, and the place that I go is at a strip mall, and so is the grocery store that I go to. So I drop my laundry off, then I go over to the grocery store, do my shopping, go home, put it away, then go back to the laundromat, pick up my laundry. And that's all within 5 minutes from here. Another one is my credit union. When I go there, I've usually got banking businesses to take care of, checking, savings, transfers, whatever. But I can also buy stamps there with no markup. So I buy my stamps there. So try to bundle where you shop with where you're going to shop at. Boy, that time flew by. Holy crap, I didn't get hardly anything done. Alright, so I'm going to leave off there. We'll pick it up next time on the Ultimate Guide to Frugal Living. If you can come up with any more ideas, feel free to leave them in the bottom. Not that I'm really short on ideas, because I got plenty of them. Well, you guys have a great day, a great week, and happy saving and investing.